How much money do you make?
So for my concrete business, we do $2 million a year. And then I started a coaching business now, and that we just started that out now, and it does $40,000 a month.
And how are you doing?
It was pretty easy actually, because we already had the concrete business. And so it was pretty much just copy and paste now for contractors when they want to join in and grow their own business. It's pretty much just copy and paste. It's all the same. Yeah, for contractors all over. So it's been streamlined process.
Let's talk about the concrete business, because I'm curious about this. A buddy of mine, one of my best friends actually, just started a concrete company because he was spending so much already with his development company, like building houses, that he was like, we could save X amount already just with the amount of concrete that we do. And it's been, our market, there's nobody that's really filling that gap. So they just bought a truck, and they've been building that up over the last just couple of weeks now. And they asked me actually if I want to invest in it. I've been on the fence on what I was going to, and how I can help them bring things into that too, because I'm more in the online space. But I've got some questions. For sure. Let's dig into the concrete company. How did you get started with that?
Yeah. I was working for a guy actually for a couple years, 2 years. And that's where I started learning like how to build the business or how to do the actual work and stuff like that. And then it came to a point where there was 1 week, like my paycheck bounced. So I actually didn't get paid for 2 weeks. And then that was like the final straw of me just starting the business, going full gung ho in it. And I only had a couple $100, so I didn't have a ton to grow, but I knew I needed to figure it out. And so that struggle was the biggest thing I was pushing was really marketing, because I knew it didn't matter anything else if I don't have jobs. And I run my model different. I'm not sure how your friend does it, but the model I run is we run like Uber. So Uber, they do all the sales and marketing, but they don't own any of the Airbnb. They do all the sales and marketing, but they don't own any of the homes. So like for my company, I don't have any trucks, trailers, equipment, anything. I just do the sales and marketing, just my own personal truck. And I just do all the sales and marketing. And then I just find other contractors that already have all of that, and they'll do it for us. That way I don't have to carry all the overhead, the expenses and all that. And it's worked great because a lot of guys don't know how to market. So it's a win-win situation right there.
Scalable that way too. It doesn't rely on just one truck or doing so many jobs in one day, because you can hire multiple contractors to go out there.
Yep, exactly. And that was the biggest thing, because no one can compete. Because if they have to spend whatever, $5,000 a month on maintenance, gas, equipment, the payments, I can just spend that $5,000 on marketing, and then no one else can compete at all.
Yeah.
And so that's the model. Yeah.
Way more scalable.
Oh yeah.
So I noticed that you don't even have a website to the company.
Nope.
You're running everything through, I guess, your following, right? Instagram?
Yeah. Everything's social media. So like we don't even have decals on the trucks and stuff, because I sub it all out anyways. Yeah. So like I don't have logos. We don't have nothing. And everything's all done through social media, because that's where I realized the biggest companies nowadays, everything is like social media. Everything's personal brand. Look at The Rock. He doesn't know anything about tequila, but he starts a tequila brand. Instant billionaire. Kylie Jenner, she doesn't know anything about the makeup business. You probably know more about the business than them. But just because their brand is so big, so everything I pushed, I just wanted everyone to always just stay on the social media, because then they fall down this rabbit hole of they watch one video, then they watch 5, then they watch 20 of my videos, which only helps me. But it's actually, that's the best sales process, is people will consume so much of my content, and I put the prices of my jobs on the content. So it's actually selling the job for me. So by the time I actually meet a customer, they already know the price. They already know our process. So it's really just like, they feel more comfortable with us, because everyone else, they're just barely meeting the contractor. Us, they've binge watched 2-3 hours of content. So
yeah, they already know.
They feel familiar with us.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the whole point of sales right there. That's so good. Did you have a following whenever you were doing this? Like, take me through how that started. Did you just start posting your jobs whenever you were working in the concrete business?
Oh yeah. I went like full on Grant Cardone 10X style. Like so social media, I really didn't even start posting until 2 years ago, because I just knew, okay, I just need to constantly put it out there, and then eventually it'll pay off, which it did. I was posting 4 videos a day at the time. And so it was an insane amount of volume, but I knew that like I could just always use that as like references. So like when people wanted to look at my work here, just shoot them a reel, and then after you send it to 1,000 people, like the views just keep going up. And yeah, it was always just massive volume to build the following. So it grew pretty quickly because it's across all three platforms now in the past year and a half, 2 years. Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, it's about 300,000.
What's been your best performing? Where do you get your
TikTok.
TikToks? Really?
Oh, TikTok is most of the clients are all from Instagram, but TikTok is where you can post a bunch of videos to test. So like on TikTok, I'll just post like 10 of the same video and just tweak like one thing. And then whichever one works best, copy and paste it onto Facebook and Instagram. Because on Facebook and Instagram, like if you post too much on there, people see the same thing and then they'll just unfollow you. TikTok's a bit different. Like there's just so much content out there and people will never see.
So you're using TikTok as a testing site for your content and then distributing on Facebook, Instagram. That's smart. That's really smart.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how we like split test. Yeah. That's been the biggest model. And I wish if I could flip it now, then really I would have started YouTube first. Because I noticed like Gary Vee, Alex, pretty much everyone that's big in the game, they push long form more than anything because that's where you can actually like build a relationship with whoever's viewing it.
Yeah.
TikToks, they're only like 30-second clips. So it wasn't a whole lot we could do. But stuff like this, yeah, you could build a lot deeper connection with people like on a 30-minute, 60-minute video or podcast.
Yeah. And they really get to know you, like you said before, and what you were doing with your short form, people can really dig in and get from long form, they can get a lot more out of it and really know who you are, gain like and trust. What were you posting at the beginning?
At the beginning, it was mostly like mistakes. That was the biggest thing, really, because a lot of people I noticed. So as I was growing the business, there's a lot of things that I wish I knew in the beginning. Because at the deepest point, so we've been about 2.5 years in business. The deepest hole, we were like negative 500 grand. It was insane. And it went, yeah. But I loved it because I was fully transparent about it and open about how I was going to solve the problem. And that's where it gained a lot of following because people aren't that transparent about it. People will talk about like how much money they make, but not about how much money they lost. Mm-hmm. And so people like a comeback story. Okay, is he going to fail? Is he going to file bankruptcy? And now people just associate with that. Yeah. If he didn't fold and he had like negative 500 grand, why am I stressing and I have $500 in my bank account? Like, because I hear it all the time. People want to quit and they only have $500 in their bank account. Add a couple zeros negative and then you can maybe think about it. But yeah, that's what blew it up, was just being fully transparent about the good, the bad, ugly, everything.
Just going through it. Just keeping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, oh, yeah. I feel like somebody was saying, I literally heard this week, it was somebody was saying, I think they were asking Pepsi or Coca-Cola or something. They were talking to one of the leadership members and they said, hey, how do I get as good as what you guys have built? He said, stay in business 100 years. He was like, we still have all our problems. It's just, we dealt with the problems that you're going through already. And it's just less of a crack show, essentially, is what they said. But we still have they said they still have their crap that they go. It's just stay in business. That's all you need to just stay in business. Over time, it will tick up, but it's just staying. A lot of people quit. A lot of people stop. And I can see that I've shut down businesses before because I was just tired of some crap. But the ones that do the best, it's the ones that you just stay. You stick. You just ignore the crap, essentially. That's good to hear.
Yeah, because this is actually this is my 8th and 9th business right now. So I've started 7 before this and they all failed. Like so many different failures. But I always knew like I wanted to be rich, but I wanted to working a job wasn't for me. And so that's why I always pushed heavily on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I can definitely relate to that. I've had multiple businesses, more failures than successes. Some, luckily, I'm known for a couple of my successes, but definitely failures. I'll talk to somebody I had a call center. People are like, you had a call center? I was like, yeah, not for long, but we had it and it worked for a while, but yeah, we shut it down. It didn't work. It was a failure. It's just, you get that entrepreneur bug and you just, everything from then on, you feel like somebody gave you the keys to the castle. When I realized that you can create anything you want and just take it from there. But I don't want to get off topic here. Tell me a piece of content that kind of took off at the beginning.
Talking about numbers, because people are really insecure about it. Like money's a very taboo topic. And the only reason why it's like that is because people don't make as much as they want to. And so they'll cast stones if they see someone making more or talking about numbers. It's funny. Anytime I talk about numbers, people will just instantly say, I'm fine with how much I make. I didn't even ask, but they'll try to portray why they settled. And so like a lot of the times that's what I'll post is numbers of how much a job is, how much I made, how much I lost. And it will always garner like hate. Like when I tell people I lost $1,000 on this job, then comments will flood. Oh, this guy's an idiot. He's going to fail. Don't listen to him. So that's always been very big, is talking about numbers or controversial. That's why I learned a lot from like Cardone, like Andrew Tate, is be controversial and it will garner attention. And then so I'll attract people who are into the things I am into, and the haters will still just flood the comments and it'll just boost you more.
What are some controversial things that other than, because you hit the numbers, what are some controversial things within, because you got to stay within your realm in your business. You can't get too off topic there, but what are some controversial things within the concrete company that you're talking about?
Not really. So I don't even like on all my content, I cuss, like I wear nose rings, I bump rap. I even call out men on my content. Like, you're a failure if you're fat, if you're an alcoholic, or if you're broke. Like literally I call them out on my content, and then it's truly authentic, like how I think. And so it's like a lot of the customers I get resonate with that exact thing, because no one else is going to do that. Everyone else is so afraid of being their true authentic self. So since like I'm fully open about that, people are like, dude, hell yeah. Like, I don't even care. What's the price? Cool. Let's roll.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually don't have any filter on anything I talk about. It's really just whatever I like. Yeah. I'll show my family. I'll show what I want to do, vacations, whatever. So that's actually the biggest thing I found out, is I'm not just showing the work. Because if you notice, like Red Bull, none of their marketing is showing the drink. They'll always show a lifestyle. So they'll show like people jumping out of planes, people snowboarding. And so they'll associate Red Bull with that lifestyle. So that's what I realized the biggest thing is, like, I have to incorporate more lifestyle, not just job site. I post a lot of gym content. I like working out. And so a lot of my customers that work out, that resonate.
You're selling the transformation.
Exactly. And so if you can tie in more things than just nice work. Hey, he listens to this kind of music. I listen to this kind of music. He's from this kind of background. I'm from this kind of background. So you're ticking off a lot more boxes, and you find a lot more familiarity than just showing one thing. Cause that's where I realized, like, what a lot of the other people that do have massive brands is like, they show a lot of their lifestyle. They show their family, their cars, not just like.
That's good. That's really good. I was going to ask, cause I know at the beginning you're just posting to post to get content out there. Has your content strategy changed now that you're like teaching other people? What, I know how it was back then. Has it changed? Is your strategy changed now?
Yes. So it has changed. So I don't do a lot of like teaching. I go away from like the 5 steps, how, things like that. I go a lot more towards holding people accountable to things and like the lifestyle. And that's what my content is a lot more about, is not just trying to preach to people like a school teacher. It's like, I'm really trying to change their habits. So for my coaching business, it's not just contractors. Like, we get them off alcohol, get them off smoking, we get them in the gym, because there's no point making money if you're not crushing it in all other aspects. There's no point making money if you're fat. That's what I resonate with, is no, we have to be unbeatable in all areas. That's what I feel like our kind of coaching group is a lot more towards. It's not just changing their business. We're literally trying to change like how people operate.
Yeah. Changing the mindset. It's I've said it a few times on this podcast, but that's upstream thinking. Essentially, it's fixing the problem, the main root of the problem, versus just fixing something immediate issue. You're fixing the foundation, the mindset, and getting them right. And so then they can build on it.
Yeah, exactly. Because people don't need more. It's not a lack of information. It's a lack of implementation people have. And so, like, the same reason why everyone knows what it takes to lose weight. Stop eating like shit and go to the gym. But not everyone has lost weight. Like, there's so many fat people. And so but once you start implementing it, then they change. Once they get a personal trainer holding them accountable, then they start changing. And so that's really what we do more, is like holding them accountable to a higher standard. So yeah, they feel uncomfortable failing in any of these areas.
Yeah, that's big. What do you suggest? Because you're coaching now, you're teaching people how to do this. What are you suggesting them to post? And I promise this will be my last content question.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. I love jamming on this for the content, like videos of just the entire job site, like not being professional about it. So too many people overthink it and they think like they need a camera guy, they need all this stuff. All my content is 100% just from my iPhone. And then that's it. I'll just record it and post it. Too many people will overthink it and like just, it's better the more raw it is.
Mm,
Because if you over edit it, no one's going to watch it because it doesn't even look real. But if you just film, if people feel like they're right there at the job site. You just whip out your phone, you see there's some mess on the side. It looks real. You're not trying to fake anything. So that's the best type of content is like, hey, just whip it out. The less editing, the better.
yeah. Being authentic. That's a big thing. Not a lot of people do that. Everything's over edited nowadays. I feel like I even got caught in that and just thinking, I just need to post more. And I'm thinking, oh, it's got to be perfect because I have a image to uphold. I've created multiple businesses. I'm held at this standard. My content's got to be held at this standard too. What has it done? It's kept me from posting. And I'm just like, oh, it's,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's the whole,
Yeah.
exactly. That's, I'm realizing things too right now as we go through this too. So more so selfish questions I keep asking. Other than, how do I put that? Other than posting content, what were you doing to grow?
We did a lot of, so we were running ads. So I paid a bunch of mentors to teach me how to do the marketing on running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and things like that. And everything always just stemmed from content. And then, so to also grow is I was just hiring other people that had way more experience than me. And it was easier that way since I don't have a ton of experience in the construction business anyways. It was just so much easier to just hire someone with 20 years versus me trying to waste 20 years to learn. And that's always been the biggest thing is like just hiring people where I'm weak at. I 100% really don't know how to operate the construction business the best way. I'd rather just hire someone that has experience running
That's
one and they can do it for me. Exactly. I want to just bring the customers coming in and things like that and just find the areas I'm weak at and then let them handle it. Because if I try to learn everything about the business, then it'll take forever and the business will stop because like I'm the bottleneck. Versus if I can find someone that's like a 10 out of 10 in this area, 10 out of 10 in this area, it can just grow so much quicker.
Yeah, you've got to learn from somebody. And that's what's so in the cheat code. And I told somebody this yesterday at the gym. Just go pay somebody who's done what you've done before or done where you're looking to go. Walk the path before. Go pay somebody to go figure it out because you're going to learn so much in such a quick amount of time that you would have had to go through so much more than, yeah, that's the power of coaching and everything. I guess that's probably why you switched to that model as well too now.
Yeah. And because I made so many mistakes, but we grew so quick because I had mentors telling me what to do, what not to do. So like the first 7 businesses, they all failed because I had that mindset. I'm going to figure it out. I don't want to pay someone like they're not smarter than me. I had this ego about it. And so I ended up wasting 7 years, never really getting a business off the ground because I was trying to figure it out. Then when I finally paid for a mentor, it skyrocketed. So like our first and second month in business, we were doing like 10K, 20K a month. Then like that third month, I hired a mentor and we jumped instantly from 20K a month to 90K a month and then jumped again to 200K a month. And so that's when I just went full all in on mentors is exactly. I want to learn everything they learned in the past, whatever, 20 years of mistakes. So I can learn it right away. And I'd rather pay the money because I don't want to figure it out when I'm 50.
Yeah.
No one wants to be successful like when they're old. Like I'd rather be successful when I'm still 20.
Yeah. That's definitely, it's a cheat code. It's such a cheat code. Who are some of the people that you learn from?
Tigran Gertz was a bit first
Who's
one.
that?
He's Tigran Gertz. He's
Okay.
he's a landscaping. He does mentorships for
Yeah.
landscapers. And like I entered into his, he was probably like one of the only ones. Him, Alex Hormozy and Grant Cardone, they've been really of mine. But now I do have a new one, which is more towards like my personal brand and the coaching business. And his name is Wes Watson, and he's been the best one I've had so
Yeah.
far.
One of my good buddies that's his coach.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. That's where I got the entire model from. And it's insane. It's because you're holding people to a higher standard. It's not just business. And then that really resonates home with
So now you're building up. Wes is essentially building it as well.
exactly for concrete contractors or all contractors in general. But yeah, exactly.
Do you teach the model as well inside there?
Yep. So same model. He teaches the way we break it down is we have 2 groups. One is $300 a month, and then that's group coaching. And then one-on-one coaching is $3,000 a month. And So it's pretty much trying to run a construction business. You can be in one of the two programs.
Do you have a course with yours as well? Yeah. I think
Yep.
I got to go.
So it's courses and it's just copy paste everything I've ever done. So it's like you're just copy and paste, take my logo off, put yours on. We already know what works and what doesn't.
I think that's really big because I've spent so much money on like education over the years, and it's a lot of courses, a lot of information versus like a framework or essentially something you can copy and paste. And that's what essentially a lot of people are looking for. Just that copy paste. I don't want to go learn how to create a website. Here's a website.
Yeah.
Use this funnel and just do it. Those have been the best education courses I've ever taken. It's just the ones that essentially lay out what they're doing, not what they're just teaching, but what they're actually doing. And they do it and then selling that. That's the best.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm always grateful why I was like so far in debt because I learned so much in that short span because now I know like how to handle all different types of situations. Like we went through 60 plus employees in 2 years. And then I went through 3 failed partnerships, so much in a short amount of time, which was awesome. I loved it because I always have this mindset that the amount of success I want to achieve, it takes most people 20 years. I want to achieve it in 2. So then I also have to accept the amount of failures people go through in 20 years, condense it into 2 years. So that's why I never wanted to quit, file bankruptcy, anything like that. I just knew that was all part of the process to keep growing the business.
And that's big. I didn't think about that. You want to achieve something, or you also have to expect that amount of failures in that time frame as well.
Exactly. And it's just always flipping things like that. And then also like for the amount of failed employees, like we've gone through a ton. People think, man, 60 employees in 2 years, that's a lot. That's the point. Because if I want the top 10%, 90% have to be a bad fit. So it's all just reps. And then same for the partners. It's like, I'm glad there's multiple failed partnerships because I have very unrealistic high ambitions, high goals. And so a lot of people won't resonate with that. So a lot of my partnerships have to fail to get to the ones that were like, okay, cool, we could skyrocket, which ended up being my brother now. So it's like, cool. It should have just been him from the jump.
Yeah. Jump and push him away the whole time. Then you're finally like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So take me through, let's switch gears a little bit to the coaching. Give me an overview of that. How are you getting clients?
It's all through social media. 100%. Yeah. I'm just posting my life and then I just post on stories, client successes. And so people just DM me. And now I'm just making so much content now. They know what's in the program. And then we're taking away sales calls. I used to do sales calls, but now we're just taking it away and people just DM me like, hey, I want to do the one-on-one 3K a month. Cool. Link sent. And so that's where most of the clients are coming from is all content. And I just want to keep pushing that harder and harder, which is why we're doing a lot of like long form content, things like that to get them really engaged. But yeah, all the customers, it's all from social media. We started some ads, but we're taking that off and it's all just organic.
Yeah. And especially if you have a following already, the frameworks to follow, the cycle to use. Are you, for your funnel, you're just sending everybody, or the funnel essentially is everybody's just DMing you?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just post on my story. DM me or I'll make a video. It's like, hey, if you want to grow your business, hit me up. And the best reason why it works organically, and I learned this from Wes, because it's insane. He did like 2.7 a month organic, no sales calls and nothing. I was like, that's insane. And it was all organic content because then people, when they're reaching out to you, they've already sold themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to jump on a sales call and try to convince them. I don't want to convince people. If you don't want to join, fine. Just watch my free content until you're finally like, okay, your free content, I've learned like 80% of this stuff. I'm ready for the extra 20%. Cool, let's roll. And so that's why it's been great. I don't do contracts. I don't do anything. It's just people, we build a solid enough relationship. They know what's in the program. They want to work. They just say which program they want to do. I send them the link and then they're in. So that's a funnel, really just DMs. It's really simple.
Yeah. I had a bunch of questions on that. Hey, how are you sending them to VSL? Are you hopping on a call? You just explain all that. And you're transparent about your pricing. A lot of coaches keep that. I feel like everybody by now knows the funnel now. You're trying to sell anybody on the high ticket. If it doesn't work on the high ticket, you have another option for them. And you just tear them down. You're just transparent with the pricing. And like you said,
the same as I do for my customers for my concrete business, all my content, it says the price of the driveway we did. So they already know. So I don't get a bunch of tire kickers they already know what to expect. So if someone's going to message me, they already know the prices. They just tell me which program they want to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's the easiest funnel. It's simple. And yeah, putting the pricing out there. A lot of coaches don't put the pricing because they want to get them on a call. They want to convince them. I don't. It's like, hey, if you don't want to do the program, that's fine. I genuinely, I don't care. Use the free content because tons of people still make money off the free content.
And that's the model. That's what Alex Ramosi essentially teaches. It should be that way. It's the people who just want their head held. They want a little bit more. They want it in a systemized way. They want somebody to tell them what to do. That's what that's for.
Yeah. The accountability is okay, cool. Like here's how we can really dial it in. It's the same as the personal trainer. So like everyone can YouTube what it takes to lose weight. It's all free info, but not everyone's losing weight until they hire a personal trainer. Now they're emotionally and financially invested. Now they got to pull it off. So that's the same thing when people opt in is like, we're holding them to a higher standard. Like you got to pull it off.
So you have the one-on-one and then a community essentially. What platform are you running that on?
Sounds cool. The one that Alex Ramosi just watched.
Nice. I feel like there's two forms of this and what I've talked with people about this because I'm sitting here debating, do I need to because I was just going to do consulting because I've been helping a few friends with their business. And I was like, they're getting good information out of this. I should probably offer this to other people as well. And I was thinking, do I want to go community route and just get everybody in there? Or do I want to do just consulting one-on-one and just have that more handheld? You've taken both approaches. And I thought about that too. Do you find the lower ticket? We'll call them lower ticket. What is it, $300 a month? Do you find that a lot of work to do?
No. So I only spend 2 hours a week doing group coach calls and that's pretty much it. So it's not a lot of time because I'll do a group coach call on Tuesday and then another group coach call on Thursday. So pretty much whatever questions people have, they jump on the Zoom call. We answer it right then and there. And then people get the recordings. So they'll just have this massive list of it. Yeah, it's pretty easy because there's so many people that'll be on the call. I don't have to make content. They just ask questions. I just record it, answer the questions. And now that answered it for 20 other people.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
So we sold it. So we didn't even build courses or anything. I was just selling the program and everything was just like, hey, what's your questions? And okay, I just answered their questions and I just recorded it all. And then now that was the training. And it was always the same 10 questions anyways.
Yeah. So then you go and make a course out of that.
No, I just post the recording.
Oh,
I don't even have to. No, I spent no time making courses.
Wow.
It's really just, it's so simple because I don't want a lot of barriers because so many people think like I have to spend all this time making a course. There's no point. You're going to waste all this time making courses and then half the videos they don't even care about. I'd rather just ask them directly, what do you need help with? Cool. Next call. What do you need help with? Cool. It's so much easier that way. And then I don't spend any time wasting trying to make up content. They just ask me and the answer's right there.
You simplified this so much. It's just in my head, I'm thinking, and I'm a very systemized person and I'm thinking, he's got to have this. He's got to have this. And you're just like, no, I'm just going to put it out there and do it. This is how it is. Clearly you're successful doing this. How much are you making doing this on the coaching side?
Yeah. So the coaching one now, we started with Wes in December. We did 40,000 in December. And then in January, we've done 25,000. So in the past 2 months, like 65,000. And it's great because there's really no employees. It's just me and my friend coaching because he runs a bigger construction business than mine. So mine only does 2 million, but I have a friend that runs a $10 million company. So it's just me and him. And it can just be us two up until 1,000 clients. We have 100 right now, but we can go to 1,000 too. We can go to thousands of clients because it's a really simple process. Yeah. We don't need employees.
Yeah, that's really good. I was trying to framework something out here on how I was going to do it. And then I learned from another guy. Of course, we all learn from somebody. And the way that he was setting his up, and he was about to run into a bottleneck because he did the exact same one-on-one and group coaching. The group coaching grew a little bit. I could see where he might run into an issue of not answering all the questions that come to fruition or come into the meeting because so many people have different businesses. It's not geared towards one thing, but everything you're going to have is all geared towards one thing because it's only one business that they're going to.
It's only construction. Yeah, it's only construction. But the beauty of it is because we're just having a massive group is now a lot of questions I don't have to answer now because other people will just chime in. someone will ask a question, how do I do X, Y, and Z? Other people that have been in the group for 1, 2 months, they already know the answer. So they'll drop it in. So now I don't even necessarily have to do as much of the coaching. Like everyone's, which is greater. It's a lot better because now it's building a community. It's not just me teaching everyone. Now it's like people don't want to leave. Man, I have so many friends in here. If I leave, I lose access to all of
Yeah.
them. I have so many resources.
Do you have anything set up to where if they leave, they're not allowed to join in, or do you have an upfront fee that you charge so it doesn't keep people from joining and then leaving and then joining back again 2 months later?
If they can leave and then they can come back in. But if people are like, if they have a negative mindset or anything like that, I just won't let them in the group. And yeah. And that's the beauty of it because we have such high margins. Like, I don't care. I don't want people dragging down the community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just the other day, a guy he was really skeptical and stuff like that. And then when he finally wanted to join the group, I said, no, I was like, I don't want your skepticism. I don't want your negativity to affect the other people in the group and drag us down because we're only as strong as our weakest link. So we have to change it from customers picking you to you pick your customers. Once you have that kind of mindset of it, then it's the same as like girls. If you have 100 girls, like you don't care. But if you can, if you don't have, if you're not good with girls and you only get one, like you'll be really desperate, like really needy. So it's like changing that kind of mindset. And then it's so much easier to sell because then I don't have to be pushy, car salesy. I just tell people like, hey, there's the program. You want in or out? This is cool. Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you already, so I'm thinking here, the following, of course, helps. You said you weren't running paid ads anymore now because of the coaching. You're just letting organic.
Yeah. Because, yeah. So then that way people are just watching organic content. I don't have to try and convince them. They just watch it. And after 6 months, they want to buy it. Cool. And so you never know which piece of content is going to hit that nerve and then just lights the switch. It's like, damn, I've seen you grow these past 6 months. I'm still in the same spot. I've had enough.
Where are you grabbing that content from? What makes, I've heard a few different ways to go and create that content, but for you, how are you identifying those pain points? Is it the common questions that you get in the coaching group, or where are you coming up with this?
Yeah, common questions, but then it's really just my own experience because I ran my own construction business. So like I went through the same exact problems they did. So it wasn't hard it was just like, okay, when people say they're the position they're at, it's like, okay, cool. I was at your exact same point. This is how I got over it. And then it rests like, damn, but since I've already been there and gone past that. So it's the same as like the gym. First time you went, like you didn't know, is my form right when I'm benching and stuff? But now that you're built, so now you've done it a million times. If you bring a friend along and he wants to work out, you can instantly tell what he's doing wrong. And he thinks it's mind blowing. He's like, bro, I didn't even know I was supposed to like retract my shoulders. Oh, that feels way better. But because you've already had all those reps, you don't even have to think about it. You could just instantly see what's wrong.
That's good. That's really good.
So that's why the content works so well. It's like, I don't have to think of things to say. People just tell me their problems. Like, okay, cool. Do X, Y, and Z. Cause I know exactly where you were.
You've been there.
Yeah. That's the easiest. Yeah.
Here I am. And I'm asking these questions too, because I'm struggling with it right now. I'm like, what should I post? And I'm asking these questions and then you're just like, simplify. And that's what I get from you. It's just
because everything's so simple because that's where I failed in all my other businesses. I was overcomplicating things. And so I need the least of like just getting things done. And so that's why all my business, like all the content, like I don't know how to use a camera or anything. Cool. I'm just going to use my iPhone. And then what do I post? And then like guys will ask a question. Cool. I'll make that. But that's why I'm glad I went through so many struggles and trials throughout the entire like short 2-year span. So, okay, cool. If you're trying to hire employees, like I gone through a ton. If you're trying to get over, so like alcohol and vices like smoking and drinking are huge in construction. I wasn't alcoholic the entire time I was growing the business because there was just so much stress. So I helped guys get off that. I even had a customer call cops on me because I was drunk at his job and I got a DUI for it. That's another story, but yes, I've gone through a lot of stuff and I'm glad for it and I'm open about it. And so it really resonates with people.
And now you're just teaching them that stuff.
Yep. This is what I went through. This is how I got past it. And it's the same story as a lot of other people. I was stuck here. This is how I got here.
That's them.
Yeah. And Alex Hormozy says it all the time. Simple scales, fancy fails. And so like the more simple something can be, then the scalability of it is insane. And so that's how it all operates.
Where can people come and find you, man?
All my social media is Taniela Fiefia. Instagram's always the main platform I'm on.
I'll link it in the show notes too, so everybody has that. Appreciate it.
Sweet.
Hey, if you're still listening, hopefully you got some value out of this or amusement. Either way, I really appreciate you for listening. My goal with this podcast is to build something of value while also showing others that it's possible to do the same. And what I mean by that is I'm not perfect at this. I fumble, I stutter, and I just want to show that it's okay. If you've been putting something off, this is me telling you to go for it. So I need your help in growing this, and there's two main ways a podcast grows. One is through ratings and reviews, and two is through word of mouth. So I can only do it with your help. If you can leave me a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, as well as post this to your social, it doesn't grow without you. Thank you. Talk to you all next week.